Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jason, RC Off-Road Racing. So I've been working on putting a Hobby Wing 1900 kV motor back into my buggy. At this last race this past weekend, I had a lot of problems, but one problem I just noticed, it's just way too powerful. That 2200 kV on the dirt, like it's, the loose dirt, it just tends to spin out too much. I like to have it all the way turned up. Sometimes I'll turn it down, but I just really don't like to turn it down. But 1900 kV is like perfect because I just took it out and drove it, and it's a lot more manageable. So the 2200 just for me, some people probably can, hang on to it. I'm not one of them people that, I thought for a while that I was going to do okay with it, but my results have drastically, drastically went down in the 8-scale electric department. Just, ever since I changed that motor. So I've gone back to the Hobby Wing 1900 kV. I do have fresh bearing in it. The rotors get worn on these. So I had 3 of them. And this one, when I'd put this other motor in there, I took the 3 Hobby Wing motors. One was a G2, or, the original one everybody had. And then we got these G3s, I guess they are, G2, whatever they are, these newer looking ones. I had 2 of these and 1 of the other ones, and I made out of the new can. I may have used the old rotor, I'm not sure. But I used one of the rotors that had the least amount of wear, and I put a brand new bearing at the front. So I haven't even ran it since then, I'm hoping it's going to do good. I've driven it already, and it drives really smooth. The 2200 was non-sensorless. Was sensorless. It was non-sensored. So when I had it turned all the way up, and I would just hit the throttle, that thing would just start sound like it's tearing this thing apart. Is what it sounded like, to be honest. Nowadays, so this is not a Hobby Wing ESC. I burn up too many of those now. With the new ones, I don't like them. If I can get a Hobby Wing XRT SCT, I will buy one of those probably and replace it at some point. This one's a little bit big. But at one point, this one was cutting out like over jumps. But I've determined, at least what I think, is because I've used this ESC with this sensorless motor, and it runs flawless. And then this motor's never had any trouble. I ran it for like over a year, or a year and a half, I don't know, something like that. And it's done great. 2200 kV, it's fast as can be, but it's not a smooth censored system. So we're going back to that. So, but this is a Hobby Star 150, and I do think that the issue why it was cutting off is because of the play in the motor. So basically, it was a motor issue. I noted now I've ran this with the sensor and without, just to see the difference, and there's not a lot of difference, and that's kind of what led me down the path of thinking that sensors are overrated. I think for some reason censored motors, even in uncensored mode, are smoother than sensorless. I still am a big proponent of sensorless if, I guess if you can't afford a censored motor, because they're significantly more expensive. And the benefit is going to be marginal for most people starting out. But I do think I see the benefit for me. I've been racing 8 years now, and I do think I noticed the difference. And this just being a 1900 kV, that's going to make it more smooth also. This just might not have anything to do with it being sensorless, but it is way too overpowered. 2200 kV, it's a very good motor. Very smooth, very good operating motor. No problems with it at all, but too fast. All right, guys, in other news, I don't know if y'all saw the PNB Nitro Truck Main. My goodness, that was quite a race. Wow, that's all I got to say. And so if y'all haven't seen it, go check that out. I think we had a new winner this year. I think then it wasn't Mayfield who you think it would be. Actually, now I'm remembering exactly what happened. Because of the Joker lane, you got to add that into account of where you're positioned on the the grid. And who was it? Somebody was holding the lead. I think Brandon Rose was holding the lead for pretty much most of the race. But when it came down to like the last 7, 8, 9 minutes, they knew that Dakota Fenn was saving his Joker lap. So he whipped it out at the very last lap. He didn't even have to use it. He'd already passed him without the Joker lap. But he went ahead and just used it at the very end anyway. But it's really awesome. Go check that out. It was different this year. I'm sure it was still pretty psycho and nitro and blasty and everything. But they did not do the third qualifier where you'll be out there at 3, 4 a.m., 2 a.m., 1 a.m., something have running your last qualifier. For me, it was like a 3:30 a.m. qualifier the last time I was there, and then started at like 6 o'clock for my end main, because I did horrible. But all right, guys, thanks for watching. Y'all have a good day, and I will talk to y'all later. Goodbye.